Testing.
Starting the stream.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go here. Your head looks so big compared to mine.
It's the perspective.
Is it the perspective?
I think it is. I think I've got a big head. I don't know.
I'm just waiting to go live on Facebook. Okay, we're live. Oh my God, it's me and my co-host Mooney tonight.
Hey, look at this surprise! Surprise!
Yeah, we were.
Just wanted to shock everybody.
Yeah, we wanted to just get going here. We got a message from Seth that he's running a little behind. So, and Dee is also, well, she's cooking. She was doing the cooking show, so she's got to finish up the stuff she was cooking. And Mooney thought he'd just jump on so we get the show going and maybe talk about some stuff that we got going on, and you know,
right?
Why not? I mean, why not just jump on and say hello to everybody and talk shop and see what's new?
I think it's a good idea.
I mean,
I've been on a couple of shows in my time.
I've always been interested to know too, like what new spirit box you picked up this week.
You know, all mine are boring old spirit boxes. I've got the Frank's box, and got the Andres box.
I have one of those. That's an awesome box.
You do have the Andres box. That's
yes,
right.
I do.
I forgot about that. When did you get yours from Andre?
Oh man, like a couple of years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right before I met you.
Yeah, I don't see. That's weird. That's synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even know if Andre is still making boxes. I have not talked to that guy in a while.
It's hard to get him to do it. I know that.
Yeah, I know that he wasn't fond of the Facebook bashing that tends to go along with what we do.
Right.
So that's the last conversation I had with him. He says, "I don't know how you take it," and I said, "I don't know either. I'm not sure."
Yeah, but you do. You certainly do, don't you?
It's how it goes.
It is what it is. Comes with the territory.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we got a bunch of people jumping in.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, they're coming in on apparel. Make sure to share the video, guys. Yeah, Dan and Mooney. This is Manscaping Revisited, and there was
always a plan. This was always a plan for you to take over Phenomena Encountered. I remember that episode.
I didn't know we were supposed to talk about that, publicly, but yeah, obviously this whole thing I've been doing with Denise, it's all to get right here in this seat. And now that I'm here, I'm not giving it up. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to stay right here. So
hey, that's your prerogative.
Yeah. Hey, it is. I did what I had to do. I moved down here. I did the whole thing. I'm here now. So I am officially acclaiming Phenomena Encountered as half of my show.
There you go.
So there you go, guys. That's how it is. That is how it is. So speaking of Phenomena Encountered, and speaking of Dan Klaes, see how I worked that in, that segue?
You did. That was nice. I like that.
And speaking of the Hinsdale House, Dan has this really cool thing called a Patreon page. Now, when you become a patron of his page, you get a lot of cool things. Dan, what do they get for becoming a Patreon?
Well, we have the raffle Patreon. So we have what we're gonna do is every month you can go between $1 and $4 and get raffle tickets and earn gifts. We're gonna draw live on the stream for people each month. I think the first drawing is going to be on the 4th of July, and we cut off sales on the 2nd. And then this on the 4th of July, we're going to be auctioning off an autographed picture of Dustin Perry. We're going to be auctioning off a book that was written by Tim Shaw. And we're also going to be auctioning off a free overnight stay at a future time at the Hinsdale House for you and your team. Or if you don't have a team, you can investigate with me and my team. And we'll cater it and bring food in and investigate all night, and it will be an awesome time. And you can do that by pledging. The funds all go to the restoration project and the new museum that we're looking to build for up to as much as you want. Actually, it could be more than $4. There's other prize levels, but the ticketing, the drawings are going to be each month. Next month, I know Wildwood's donating Wildwood Sanitarium is going to donate a free overnight, and then we'll have some other cool gifts that are being donated as we speak to give away as well.
That's awesome. And we were just talking about off air, you're only 3 short of your initial goal, right? 3 patrons short of your first major goal for the house.
Well, we've actually met a lot of goals. Our next goal is for the blueprints, which is $1,800. Okay,
Wow.
so we're at 1,300 right now, but we're three patrons short of reaching 100 patrons, which is amazing. That means we have 100 people out there that care about the Hinsdale House and that care about what we're doing in the paranormal field. This isn't going to be just, at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, these donations, once I get what I need to do for the Hinsdale House, if this money is still coming in, we're going to start helping other locations, and that's what I've told everybody from the get-go. We can start making donations if, say, the Villisca Axe Murder House needs a new window, and they need we could always put those. Working together, we can make things happen. So, we'll just keep going with it, and try to keep these locations afloat the best we can.
That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Now, and yeah, I think it's a great cause because there's so many great historic locations that are out there, and a lot of them are extremely dilapidated. I mean, they're some of them are falling down right now. So, the more that we can do to preserve our history and our haunted history, that's absolutely awesome. What a great cause. So, guys, if you have not done so, make sure to head over to Dan's Patreon page. Did you put the address in there yet?
No, but I will. It's patreon.com/Hinsdale House Museum.
There you go.
I'll put it up in there.
Yeah, so definitely head over there. Like you said, right now he's just 3 people short of his next little goal, right?
Yeah, I want to reach that 100 would be awesome. Just to get to 100 patrons, that would be sweet.
That's a major accomplishment. We, Dee and I, are very proud to say that we are patrons of Dan in the Hinsdale House, and Dan is a patron of ours as well over on our page too. So
yeah,
everybody's supporting everybody. It's really cool. So let's keep doing that.
Yeah, and thanks for everybody that are patrons. We do free readings with Bernice. She's donating. Bernice Golden, you can get for $5. You get 2 free monthly gallery readings that are private a month that you can join in on and definitely get your questions answered. We're doing psychic mediumship classes. We just got the Echoes of a Haunting, the book that Clara Miller wrote about the house back in the 1980s. We were able to get that reprinted, so now I'm going to have prints of that we can give out. I have a Echoes of a Haunting level where you can get that book sent to you.
Wow.
What
level?
That's a $75
cool.
level. Plus, you get, the cool thing is when you pledge $75, then you get the $50 level. You get the psychic classes. You get the chances for the drawing. So you get every level that's underneath that as well. The free lives when I go live to do at the Hinsdale House or other locations. It's cool. It's just interactive.
That's awesome. That is really cool. And speaking of your locations out there, we are actually going to be at Wildwood coming up later this year. We had to reschedule, but we're going to be back out there on the 28th and 29th of September to do, we're actually filming the show. Yeah. We're actually going to be filming Ghostbox Chronicles while we're out there. We're going to be doing a Ghost Hunter University event, so we're really looking forward to doing that too.
Yeah.
So another great location out by you.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have you guys there for that, for sure.
We're excited. We're hoping you're going to be able to be there. But
I think
it seems like you're busy every weekend.
I know. But in August, it starts dying down. I think I only have 2. I think that weekend I'm free right now, so that should be good.
Cool. Yeah, block that one out. Make sure so we can all hang out up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That will be absolutely awesome. So, something that Dan and I have in common. Dee is coming back here in just a few minutes, guys, to let you know. Something that we have in common is that Dan has his show on Viddy Space in the Haunted Space, and we have our show on Viddy Space in the Haunted Space as well, for those of you who don't know. And Within These Walls is an amazing show. You guys go all over the place and check out all kinds of really cool locations.
Yes. And we're filming again next week, so I'm excited about that. We're going to film at 2 new locations that have never been the one location's never been paranormally investigated before, so I'm excited to be able to go into that place. And then another place that's very, very limited amount of paranormal investigation done. So we're actually going to be diving into some new locations, which is really cool.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Very nice. That will be fun. Dee and I, just so you guys know, we are actually going to be not filming for this one, but we are going to be at the infamous Black Swan Inn in San Antonio on the 30th. So if any of you guys are in the San Antonio area or anywhere near there, jump on Eventbrite and look for Ghost Hunter University tickets for the Black Swan Inn. Tickets are only $70, and you get to come and hang out with us. There's a class. There's a full ghost hunt. It'll be the cheapest you'll ever get into Black Swan Inn. That place is gorgeous. Dan promised to come, but he lied to us. He's not coming. He's
another event. Down. Do I have another event?
Yeah, we were trying to get you there, but I don't think you're coming now.
I'm sorry.
Black Swan Inn, 30th. It's coming up in a few days. I was really hoping you were going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to be here. I'll be there in spirit, though.
Yeah, we always are.
It's all always good. There in spirit.
Hey, guys, another thing I wanted to mention, please send positive and healing prayers for my mom, Mama Moon. She is going in for surgery on her neck on the 11th of July. And she is not going to be with us for about a month.
Oh boy!
Out while she recovers from the surgery. So we had a whole thing planned. We're going on a really big tour, and we thought Mama Moon was going to be a huge part of that, but she's not going to be there. So bummer for us. But we're going to try to get her to appear by video a few times and try to keep things interesting and have her get her input on stuff as we're going around the country.
You know, it would be cool. Get Mama Moon right after, like an hour after she gets some pain meds in, and then get her on the video. See how we, can get her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be really interesting to see how she reacts to that whole situation. Do some readings, maybe. I don't think they'd be very accurate. I gotta be honest with you guys.
Either that, or they'd be really blunt and more truthful than she already. Not that she's not truthful, but very. How she does have a bluntness to her when she tells you what's going on. But I could just picture her like. Just going off,
just
not holding anything back. Because sometimes you have to hold stuff back. You don't want to.
You do,
and you got to be respectful to who you're speaking to and what the situation is. And man, that would be something.
That would be amazing. That's funny. Thinking about that would be funny. Jesse, I want to thank you in the chat room for sending prayers. Really appreciate that. Yeah, she could really use
Tina's
them.
Saying, they're all saying they're going to send prayers on Periscope too. Yeah, Rosa.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, each and every one of you. Thanks so much. And I might be flying back to Denver for the surgery and then heading back out. We got a crazy, if you don't mind me talking about real quick, Dan, we got a crazy month coming up in July. We're going to be in South Florida for Dream Angels. Dee and I will be there doing readings in galleries from the 19th through the 22nd, and then we're going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. It looks like we're going to be at the Moonlight Crystal Visions doing readings during the day in galleries, and at night it looks like we're going to be filming Ghostbox Chronicles live at Ginger's Place in Jacksonville, which is an extremely haunted bar, but not a whole lot of people know about it yet, so we're excited to be there. And then we're heading off to Georgia at the Interspace to do more readings and galleries. And then we're going to be at Mystic Valley in St. Louis on the 31st and the 1st, doing the same thing. Then we're going to be doing another Ghostbox Chronicles live Friday, August 3rd and 4th, as well as a Ghost Hunter University on the 4th. And then on the 7th and 8th, we are actually doing the return to the Stagecoach Inn live, Ghostbox Chronicles live. Return to the Stagecoach Inn. And if you guys know about that, those episodes of Ghostbox Chronicles, you know why we're excited to get back over there.
Yeah, no, my God. That's kind of scary that you are going back. But you got to deal with that. You got to definitely confront that.
You do. I mean, last time we were in there, we had a whole, if you guys saw the episode, we had a whole group of Ghost Hunting University attendees, and I don't think anybody left there without a scratch or a burn or some kind of, physical mark when we left. It was just very, very intense. So, yeah, we're going to go back in there. We're going to do 2 nights inside the place and see what we get. And I think it's probably going to be the last time that many investigators are going to be in there. So we're going to get the most we possibly can.
Let me ask you a question about the Stagecoach Inn. Now, I've seen some posts online saying that there's no way other people can get into this place because of something that you did, something that you may have maybe coerced the owner into not letting other teams in, or I don't know. I know it sounds silly, but the being the investigator that I am and the newsman that I am, I want to, since I have you on here, I'm just going to throw you right on the spot and ask you about that. I mean, I've seen it online where people have said that it's you and your ghost box and nobody else is allowed in there, and it's because of you.
Right.
Is that the? I mean, what's the
Well,
truth of the matter?
well, I went to the owner of the Stagecoach Inn and I offered them $1 million to just let my team go in there permanently. I
Ah,
now
that's
own
why
the
you have the new
property.
jewelry business. I get it now.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. And see, here's what's going to happen though. I've already got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go in there. We're going to film again because I purchased the property. We're going to film again, and then what I plan to do is demolish the property after I leave, just
Nice.
for everyone's safety. I just want to make sure that no one else can have any issues by going in there. It's not that I don't want anyone to go in there and investigate. It's just that obviously I want to protect the public from the potential demonic activity inside.
I see.
So it's just that's I'm doing it as a public service.
So it's more of a caring thing for those that they're.
It really is. It's not that I'm afraid people will come in and find out that my evidence was faked. That's not it at all.
Gotcha.
So I just want to clear the record right now.
Interesting.
I'm just kidding. No, so it's owned by a historic society, and Alan Cornelian Sr. is actually the person who invited us in there the first time. And they kind of Alan's the guy who kind of scouts out who goes in and who doesn't for the most part, and then he has to go to approval board and make sure that those people are okay with the same thing. So there's that whole process you have to go through. So no, at no point did myself, Dee, my mom, Hauntology, Alan, I don't think anybody's ever said anything like that. It's just that some of these places are finicky. I mean, if you deal with it, I mean, Dan owns Hinsdale, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that you prefer to have in there and some people that you might not want to have come back because of respect issues and damage and stuff like that. So they're very cautious about who comes in. But, for a public statement at this point, no, we have never tried to hold anybody out of any location anywhere. So, no, that's not true.
Okay. Well, at least we got to the bottom of that one.
I was tempted to leave it at the first statement. I really was. I wanted to do that.
I know, but everybody would have thought you were 100% serious, so you kind of had to correct that. Cause
I did have to correct it.
You say that with you said it with such conviction.
I've heard so many of those rumors, and it's a lot of people don't know we enjoy those things because we sit around and it's actually a good laugh for us every once in a while to sit down and hear some of the things that come back up. We heard the same thing about the Mason House Inn, and that's something that blew me away because Mason House, which is on the other side of the state, I've been doing that location since 2005. I've been doing events there, and one of the first places that I used Frank's Box at, and they've kind of gone on the journey with us and learned about everything that has to do with the box, and we've got some incredible stuff through the years. So when people started getting the copy boxes, the knockoff boxes, what they ended up doing is they got a lot of people who went in there and tried to use their devices. Well, the owners felt that a lot of those people weren't using the devices correctly, and they started getting some really negative activity that was coming through. So they contacted me and they said, "Hey, Chris, we've made a decision. We really think that it would be best that you be the only person who used one of these ghost boxes in our location." That's not something I came up with. That was just something that they came up with because they were having some serious issues inside their locations with people using the devices. So, to each their own, and we definitely don't try to keep people held out of any haunted location that's out there. That's pretty counterproductive.
I agree, yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So that's the location's decision. That's not anybody else's decision. I mean, you can't help with maybe go in and try to sell it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But some places are weird like that. I mean, I've been to places where you can't bring in a Ouija board. I've been to places where you can't bring in a spirit box. That's their wishes, and you either go with it or you don't.
That's what you have to do. That's just the way that it is. I was summoned by Dee for a moment.
Oh.
I'm not sure exactly what's happening right now. She looked at me. She actually came into the room. Before I get off the air, and Dan, it's been a pleasure, by the way. We have to do this again. Let's do. We are going to do manscaping again,
yes,
guys. We are going to do manscaping again very soon. But before I let the true host of the show jump on here, I want to show the delicious meal that was made for me.
I don't know. Don't give it to him. Don't give it to him.
I was actually done a while ago, but you were doing so good, I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, I was just rambling. I was just holding out for you, Dee. I was just holding out for you. I'm going to switch out, Dan.
All right.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
And here she goes.
Oh, look at that nice. Look at that.
Showing the food.
Look at that fine china you guys are using.
Oh my gosh. Hi everybody, Dee's here.
You guys have such fine china.
Well, I used the quick because I don't want to wash dishes.
No, I hear that. Anybody with kids knows
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to wash dishes, so he's gonna have to use the paper plates and the plastic forks. Yeah, but oh my gosh, I could have hopped on here a while ago, but I heard you guys actually talking about some pretty cool stuff, and I was like, sounds like, yeah, they're doing a good show. I almost feel like I wasn't needed, and I interrupted the flow.
Nonsense. You're gonna be needed
You and
because
Chris.
I don't know what's going on with. I know that last I heard he was going through Tennessee and trying to get to
Okay.
his hotel so he could get logged in, but
Okay.
you know how that is being on the road. It's tough sometimes. You may have
Oh,
he may have
it
gotten
is.
into some type of car traffic. There's so many things that could have happened, and we don't know because we're on the show now, and the only way that we would know that he's able to connect with us is when I see that little button getting pressed in Skype. So
Okay. So he hasn't made connection yet.
no, and if he doesn't, that's all right. We can always reschedule him for a different day.
I was gonna say if he doesn't, I mean, it turned out it. You know what? The way things work out, it's almost like they work out the way they do for a reason. Today, my son really wanted a cheeseburger and mac and cheese, and I tried to get to it sooner, but I had several readings that I was doing before, and then by the time I finished the last reading that I did a little while ago, I saw, oh my gosh, Phenomenon Encountered's gonna start at 7:30, and I gotta cook for Davey, and then Chris was like, I'm hungry too. I'm like, ah.
So Chris decides to film a show of Cooking with D.
Yes, he decided because he wanted to talk about. Did you see the pendulums I made?
Oh yeah, they're gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I know, I made those.
I was
made
watching
those.
the replay of last night too because I was feeling a little under the weather. I just needed to go to bed last night. It's one of those times where you're like, I need to catch up on like an extra 8 hours of sleep somewhere because if I don't, I'm gonna pass out and die from just moving so much all the time. So that's what I did. But yeah.
So yeah, and I made those. Hold on, I think I left my. Hold on, I'm still talking, but you just won't see me. I think I left my materials over there. I wanted to show. I'll just have my. Christopher, bring me my stuff. So he should have heard that. Anyways, everyone's gonna laugh. Christopher, I need a bell. My jewelry stuff. So I made those, and last night I actually made two of those pendulums. I just went through and did it real quick, and like I said, what I'm really proud about those is that it's not a chain that I bought. I actually made the chain. Oh,
interesting.
You have some fun with us.
Well, you can finish your statement.
Okay, it looks like, yeah, I made the chain myself. I got the wire, the silver wire. Oops, looks like we lost him now. And I got the silver wire, cut it, looped it, did all that, and then put the little beads in there, closed it. So I made the chain link myself with wire. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, definitely.
I absolutely love them, yeah. And I just got so into making them. I busted out two of them last night, and then I made two more today because my friend Tina ordered two. She wanted one crystal quartz and one tiger eye, and so I made her these special. She wanted hers more on like a smaller chain, so that's why I beat at the top, and then I connected it to a little chain, and I made these little charms too. Well, I connected this charm, but this one I beaded it on a different little pin there, and I've just been getting really into making these pendulums and making the bracelets and making the custom jewelry for people. I've been really enjoying it, so it's been awesome.
I'm trying to figure out how to add them back into the call. Let's see here.
Okay.
Add people to this call. Do. It's not letting me, and I wonder what the deal is. Well, now it definitely it definitely hung up on him. So let's try it again.
Yeah, let's try it again, and let's get him on here because I was really excited about having him on. And if not, well, we'll have to reschedule because like I said, I really was very excited.
I was too. It's interesting what he does. Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see what I can do here again.
I know. Yeah, I want to talk about his movie that he's got coming on VidiSpace.
All right, let's see here. Come on, Seth. Come on, Seth. We still got some time. Let's get you in here.
Now I'm wondering if is it just that he's traveling, or is there storms where he's at? Because I know that down here where we're at, man, the storm was pretty bad. I was really worried that the power was going to go out or something.
Oh, yeah, it might be that he's traveling, because I know it just he was on. I corresponded with him, and then he just went offline again. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Sorry you guys are seeing all these little bleeps and blurps in front of Dee's face where her face should be, but that's why we usually try to do this before the show starts, you know, like getting it all set up and whatnot. And whatnot.
And whatnot. Thank you, guys. That's cool. Thank you. Aw, thank you so much. Paula Smith says, pretty D. Thank you. And I think, I'm thinking she's talking about me. Maybe she's talking about my pendulums.
Could be about your pendulums.
Maybe it's the pendulums, and I think, well, thank you. You think I'm pretty, but if it's the pendulums, thank you too.
All right, let's try this again. I see these back online. Let's see. Add.
Mm-hmm.
Do. I don't know. Let's see here.
Do we have him on?
It says he's online now, but it's not letting.
Okay.
It's not allowing me to add him to the call.
So, how did everybody enjoy having Mr. Moon fill in while I was over there feeding little man? And
that's always a gem.
That's always a gem.
Always a gem.
I'm glad you asked him about the rumor about the Stagecoach.
Why?
Well, because, that was a rumor going around. And at first I was listening in the kitchen and I heard him go off and he's like, I'm like, oh God, here he goes with his jokes. And people can take that seriously,
Okay, so I got him up here. Let's see. How do I get him to connect?
Add to call.
I did.
Let me see.
I added to call. Seth?
I think he's there. Seth?
Hello? Seth?
I see that he's on. Do you want me to try to add him?
Yeah, try to add him. See what you can do.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm doing with Skype. I'm a rookie at this stuff.
Okay.
And I know all the peoples are waiting for Seth. All of them.
Let's see. You're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. All right, so let me try to add.
Sorry for the delays, guys.
Yeah, we apologize, guys. Let me try to add. I gotta move the keyboard over here because.
For any of the new folks just tuning in at the beginning of the show, I'm just letting everybody know I'm 3 patrons away from getting to my 100 mark on my patron donation page for the Hinsdale House Restoration Project. The link is tagged at the top of the page here on paranormalwarehouse.com. We're giving away free overnight stays with me and my team. We're giving away lots of cool stuff. We got books from Tim Shaw. Hey!
I think we got him.
We hear a voice.
Seth, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yay! There you are.
Welcome to the show.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm in a hotel somewhere in Nashville, and my Wi-Fi reception does not seem to be the best here.
Oh, we know how that goes.
Uh-oh. Yes, I've had to do shows from hotels before, and yeah, sometimes they say it's high-speed internet, and it really
Remember
isn't.
the one? Remember the one show I did from a cruise ship?
Oh,
That
yes.
was good though. I sounded like an android, like one of those robots. That was great.
You did sound like an android.
All right,
Yes,
well,
you did.
Yeah.
before your connection gets cut again, welcome to the show, guys. Seth, it's awesome to have you here. You've been doing a lot of promo lately. A lot of shows. I've been catching up on them all. I think you've been on like 2 or 3 this week alone, and it's cool that the Phenomena Encountered viewers and listeners would be able to have you on and talk about some of the stuff that you have going on and some of the things you have going on right now. Some really cool stuff. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do?
Sure. Yeah, my name's Seth Breedlove. I am the I don't even know how you put it. I run Small Town Monsters, which is a film production company, and we make movies and documentaries and miniseries about strange phenomena around the United States, centered in small rural communities and how those communities have been affected by their local legends. And we have made films such as Minerva Monster, Beast of Whitehall, Boggy Creek Monster, Mothman of Point Pleasant, Invasion on Chestnut Ridge. I'm trying to do this in order. Invasion on Chestnut Ridge, The Flatwoods Monster, and most recently, as of Saturday, On the Trail of Champ, which is a miniseries directed by Alexander Pedikov and directed or produced by me. I might have said that backwards. And currently we are in post-production on our 7th film, which is The Bray Road Beast. And I am literally in a hotel because I just finished a weekend of filming on the follow-up to On the Trail of Champ called On the Trail of Bigfoot, which I'm actually returning from the Ouachita Mountains in Oklahoma, where I spent 3 days hunting for Bigfoots in the most rugged, unkind terrain I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, that can be rough. I was just there this past
Yeah,
weekend, and man, the humidity is off the hook in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's rough. So, but that was my quick pitch for Small Town Monsters.
Cool. Yes. Awesome. So Trail the Champ was just premiered this past Saturday. That was at 8 o'clock on VidiSpace, and it's there. So it's you can go watch it whenever you want. I mean, it's not like it was on one time and that's it. I mean, this video is kind of like a pay-per-view site, so you can go on and rent the video and watch it whenever you want. I mean, it's really cool. So it's a really cool new platform for independents and folks like us to be able to get our stuff out there. And it's so far so good with the new network.
Yeah, much needed platform actually. So I'm happy to be involved with them, and Champ is actually exclusive on VidiSpace for the next 30 days, I believe. So it's
That's
up there
awesome.
solely as of right now if you want to stream it.
Yeah.
So, for that one, for the Champ, what all went into making that?
Well, it's a really unique project for me because it's the first Small Town Monsters production where I had literally nothing to do with the actual shooting of the project.
Okay.
I was the full scale producer on it. My wife co-produced with me, and our number one job was to make sure Alexander had what he needed to make the series that he wanted to make, and help with promotion. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was his project and his baby, and he got to tell the story the way he wanted to, and I tried to approach it in the way I would want to direct a project that was being produced by someone else. So I just let him have it and kind of did, whatever he needed, I made sure he got, and he got to create this pretty epic 5-episode miniseries that he completely shot, wrote, and edited all by himself, which is pretty cool. And it inspired me to sort of head in that direction with the next On the Trail of, which is the one I'm working on now, the On the Trail of Bigfoot. So it's
that's exciting.
Yeah. Very much.
Yeah. So Champ is a very different animal, no pun intended, from the other productions that we've got in our library, and I think it's a really cool, bold new step for us, because it's almost, in a way, it's almost a return to what we did very early on with Small Town Monsters. It's very scaled back from how we've been making our last few films, which have been very sort of stylized and driven heavily by sort of mood and atmosphere and recreations and all that sort of stuff. And On the Trail of gives us an opportunity to go back to what Small Town Monsters was in the very beginning with our first two productions, especially Minerva Monster and Beast of Whitehall, but also Boggy Creek Monster to an extent, and have the focus solely be the story, let the atmosphere and all that stuff come from the style in which it's shot, or the style of the place where it's set. So it's not a it's I keep saying it's a very new shooter style, whereas the films we make are a lot more stylized.
Interesting. I have a note here. It says that you knew that you were going to be a filmmaker between the ages of 16 and 18.
I did. Well, that was my dream job, was being a filmmaker.
Oh.
I grew up as a kind of like a film nerd. My mom raised me on classic cinema, so as a kid that was my thing, was Ray Harryhausen movies. Cool. And Alfred Hitchcock.
Cool
and
mom,
all that kind
huh?
of stuff. And yeah. She's the best. So we, as a kid, that was my dream job, was being a filmmaker. And when I turned 18 and graduated, it kind of hit me that maybe it wasn't the most realistic profession, the most realistic job. And part of that is because I was 19. It would have been 1999. So you're talking before DSLR, before digital really exploded, and before platforms like YouTube or VidiSpace opened a door for guys like idiots like me to have a platform to actually put our content out there and have an audience for it. So because of the digital explosion and platforms like Vidi, guys like me are able to do something like this. So as long as I can remember, I've always been sort of enamored with film.
And it makes it a lot better and easier for you to set out and really do what you want to do. What your passion is, filmmaking, like you said, the digital explosion, and that's the beauty of it. That now you can really go out there and do what you always wanted to do. And I want to talk, because I'm fascinated with Bigfoot, and I know you're working right now on the work trail of Bigfoot, but I imagine that this, I'm just guessing out there, because I know I was very young when I first saw the very first Bigfoot videos, like the Patterson video and all those. So I imagine that probably sparked some sort of motivation within you, or to learn about that, or see, was that the case? Like when you saw those videos, did you say, okay, I gotta go see what this is all about?
So, in a way it is, because I was not into this subject when I was a kid. I wasn't into the paranormal. To be honest, I don't think I was even aware of the paranormal, UFOs, Bigfoot, any of this as a young child. And it wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I really got into this. And a friend of mine actually burned a bunch of Bigfoot documentaries onto a DVD or a VHS. I can't recall which, but he gave it to me because he assumed, since I was a weirdo, I must be into Bigfoot. So he gave me this, this tape or DVD full of Bigfoot documentaries, and I watched it one time because I was bored. And sure enough, it did spark my interest, and then the rest is sort of history. I got very fascinated with the subject because of those those documentaries he gave me. Now it is funny though, because my love for things like In Search of and Mysterious Monsters, some of those 70s and 80s documentaries, that's come about after the fact. So I've actually grown to love those things now in my 30s, watching them with sort of this kitschy vibe. But I mean, our movie that we put out last October, Invasion on Chestnut Ridge, is basically one big love letter to unsolved mysteries and In Search of, especially, and even the title On the Trail of is one big homage to In Search of. So those things are definitely playing a role in how we're making movies.
That's cool. Michelle Timmons said she rented it, and she just wants to let you know that it was awesome. An awesome show.
Awesome.
On Saturday.
Great, thank you.
She got to watch the premiere.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and that was funny too, because I was supposed to be in the feed for the entire premiere of the movie, and but I was in the Ouachita Mountains in southern Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time I got,
there.
I did manage. Yeah, well, I managed to join, but the Wi-Fi where I was so spotty, I was lagging out and ruining the entire feed, so I eventually had to leave. So I'll blame it on Bigfoot and say he attacked me during the video.
I was just gonna say, blame it on Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Blame it on Bigfoot.
I was kind of in the same deal. I was at Brushy Mountain State Prison Saturday, and then my show was on after yours. And then I was kind of trying to get in there on my phone and talk to people in the chat room too, but it was not that good inside a prison.
A haunted prison.
Yes, a haunted prison.
You'll have that.
Is it the prison
now,
or is it the ghosts? Who knows?
Yeah.
Of all the works that you've done, all like the films you've made and everything, which one do you think is or the one that you're not
most
I don't want to say most proud of, but not I don't want to say it like that because I'm sure you're proud of all of them. But which one would you consider your baby?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, that's actually a really interesting question, because this is like a multi-part answer. So I'll put it this way, and then I'll answer it, but I'm gonna say two things first. Our best movie from a technical standpoint, like storytelling, our best movie. Now, I'm not saying it's a great movie, but our best, in my opinion, is Invasion on Chestnut Ridge. It's a really fascinating story, great animated sequences, really fun recreations. I think it's our best. However, our best story, like the story we told that is the most fascinating, most multi-layered, all that stuff, is obviously going to be the Mothman story, because the Mothman story is just a fascinating tale. So the Mothman in Point Pleasant is our best story. But my baby, the one I consider my child, is actually our second film, The Beast of Whitehall, which we made all the way back in 2016 in upstate New York, and that has been my child for quite a while. I'm still very proud of that movie. It was the first time I sort of shot anything completely on my own, and it was the first time I really edited on my own, and the movie blew up when it hit Amazon. I was just telling this story over the weekend to someone. That when Beast of Whitehall went up on Amazon, it actually did so well that Amazon contacted me, their acquisitions department, and added a banner, a Beast of Whitehall banner to the main Prime Video page. So right where like normally it's like The Man in the High Castle or some Amazon original, those were up there too, but it was part of the carousel, like at the top of the page, but literally this huge Beast of Whitehall banner. This was a movie we made for about $1,000, and the production crew was Brandon Dalo, who did the music for the movie. He came along and held a microphone to record sound, and my dad, who came along and held a reflector for lighting. I mean, this was the most bare bones. We made the movie in a day and a half. I mean, filmed it in a day and a half. And,
wow.
Yeah, and it took on a life of its own. We premiered Beast of Whitehall in upstate New York in Whitehall, and I was told after the event that it was the largest event that had ever taken place in the town of Whitehall, New York. So it was a very strange, surreal experience, that movie, because we really thought it was going to just be this tiny little, YouTube short. Originally, it was supposed to be a 15-minute YouTube short, and it just expanded.
It's amazing when you have interesting content and you present it the right way, how well things can go.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's all about the presentation.
And the one little town of Whitehall, you're putting them on the map. I mean, how excited must they have been?
Yeah, it was a crazy. The premiere weekend was crazy. Especially we were on 3 different TV networks. Like the TV news was covering us. We actually had to drive around the day of the premiere to 3 different TV stations and do interviews. And it was a bizarre experience because you felt like that you had created like some sort of mega blockbuster because of the amount of interest that was going on in it. At least locally at the time. But yes, the short answer is Whitehall. I just droned on and on about Whitehall though.
The short answer. Yeah. But yeah, that would be then. I mean, because you went on and on and on. But that's great. I mean, I think everybody, when you have projects that you do, when you're a creator, whether it's filmmaking, whatever, there's always going to be that one work, that one thing that's your baby, that you're proud of everything, but that's the one. And yeah, that's why I asked that question. And that one is already out. That one's been out.
Oh yeah,
Amazon.
Yeah. Beast of Whitehall's been out since 2016, so it's available on Amazon and Vimeo on demand, and then DVD.
Awesome. Now, in my notes here, it says that your films, they're retellings of ancient legends, including interviews from sightings and witnesses. So when you're working on the filmmaking, and so you take aspects of the witnesses and you put all their retellings into the film. How do you go about balancing how do you pick apart what you think is just more fact, fiction, or how do you do that to retell that so it comes across more as
trying to get the right
clear,
verbiage out.
I'm trying to get the verbiage out, because obviously if it's a witness sighting, it's not going to be 100% fact. They're going to have opinions about what they saw and whatnot. But how do you go about to pick all that apart and make it come across in a way that comes across well on film? Is what I'm
legitimately enjoying the heck out of these questions. These are not questions I'm typically asked on interviews. Typically, people are like, "Have you been beaten and eaten by a Bigfoot? How many Bigfoots did you see?"
Those are the type of questions Charla asks. I know,
Yeah. Point to the doll. Point to the spot on the doll.
Have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
That sort of thing. Yeah.
What do they smell like?
So I'm glad you liked the question.
Yes. So yeah, no, I mean it is a huge part of the process is for us anyway is to let the witnesses sort of tell their story and to do it in a way that's respectful to them and not insert ourselves. So they occasionally, I mean, obviously they're going to have their own stance on what happened to them, and they're going to perceive things in a certain way. And so my objective is always to boil down what the witness says to the the most detailed version of what they said that I can get on film in the shortest span of time. Because some of these people, when they have an encounter, their recreation, like when they tell you about their encounter, they recreate it in their head, and you can see it affect them, on their face or whatever as they're telling you that story. And sometimes those stories, even if it was an event that lasted 5 seconds, they can spend 35, 40 minutes recounting this one incident, because it had some huge, profound effect on them. So for us, it's always about getting to the heart of what happened to them. And then the most important part of that, for me anyway, probably not for an audience, but the most important part of that from a storytelling standpoint for me is always to how it affected them, how the outcome of it was, and if it still affects them to this day. Part of what Small Town Monsters is about isn't just small town monsters, but also the witnesses and the effects that these incidents can have on normal people. I think people, especially people outside of the paranormal community or the crypto community or whatever have a tendency to look at people that see, you know, strange phenomena as being weirdos or freaks or whatever. And part of what I like to do is show these people for who they really are. And most of the time, these are just normal people that have had extraordinary things happen to them. So that's a big part of what we do, is introducing the audience to these people and letting them get to know them and see that, you know, because I think if you can present these folks in the way that we tend to meet them in real life, you know, you can at least draw some people to the subject, to approach the subject anyway in a way that they might not have before, to think about, you know, well, this person seems completely
normal,
rational,
yeah,
and normal, and if this affected them to this extent, maybe something did happen, or at the very least they'll at least want to learn more about, you know, what happened to these people and see them for being human beings instead of some sort of, you know, weird object of ridicule.
You can tell the difference too, like when somebody is speaking from their heart and when it's scripted, and when with what you do, when you interview people, you can tell it's just they just spill their guts, like they spill what they're saying from their heart. It's not anything scripted. They're just telling you their story, and that's
very, very important to us. And I had this is going to sound like a stupid humble brag. I promised you it's not. I had a phone call right before I got on with you guys, actually, with a major Hollywood director, someone that's doing a tentpole movie in 2020, like literally one of these $500 million budgeted movies. And we were discussing Small Town Monsters, and he said what the thing that he loved about it the most was that the human beings, their encounters being retold on camera, because and the way he put it was, that's all you need. You don't need more. We don't need to a lot of what I see the most with these sort of crypto entertainment that's on mainstream television is some sort of weird desire to trump everything up, to either go on a hunt for the monster, or you know, to add elements to the story that might not have been there to begin with, or something like that. And I just think that at the end of the day, the witnesses recounting of what happened is all you really need.
Most of the people out there want the truth and reality of it, and everybody's going to want that sci-fi thriller here and there. But what you're doing is you know, put it on the plate. This is it. This is what you got. This is what we have. These are the facts that are coming forward, believe it or not, type thing, you know. And you definitely add speculation to every video that you've done for people to think, what the hell, you know, what's going on here? What's going on in this town? You know, like I love that aspect of it. I want to know. Are there any other legends that you have a lot of interest in that maybe you're going to try to tackle down the road? I mean, I know you're a filmmaker. You don't want to give up your secrets, but I mean, is there any that interest you, that really interest you, that maybe you might be touching on down the road?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're actually sort of planned out through 2020.
Nice.
And actually, I mean, at this point, you could probably carry it far beyond that. There is a major project in the works that could potentially change the entire direction of what we're doing, but we'll see what happens with that. I mean, Momo is going to be a Small Town Monsters film in the next probably year. I'm hoping it will be STM film number 9.
Nice.
Number 8 is going to be a secret project we're going to announce probably around Halloween of this year. And it's not going to be something people expect. It's not going to be a cryptid or paranormal. It's going to be a shock. And I think I'm actually very excited. It's something we've talked about doing with Small Town Monsters for a long time. And it challenges the name of Small Town Monsters in a way that I think is really cool and fun. But yeah, there's a lot. We're gonna make a Bell Witch movie.
Nice.
Like, that's always been something we've wanted to do. I've actually been running pre-pro on that for about a year, and I mean, it's a long ways down the road. We've got to get through Monsters in the Midwest before I can get to that. But we're definitely at some point going to tackle that story. We're going to do a a lizard man story if
Oh.
the witnesses.
I know D.
Yeah,
I know
if the
D would
witnesses
love
are
you to
still
do the
around.
Chalupa Cabre as well, right?
Chalupa, it's not the chalupa, the chupacabra.
I would love to, but
Oh
I mean,
my God.
there's so many of these stories. Dover Demon is a story I'd love to tackle. Van Meter Visitor is one we've talked about doing.
Oh,
and,
the Van Meter, yeah.
I mean,
that
to me,
one's
it sounds like
cute.
you might be stacked up till 2030, man. Jeez.
There's just so
Yeah.
many of them that so many of them that could be
I
done.
have a list. I have a list at home that is 40 monsters deep right now.
Wow.
So
Wow,
there's
that's-
quite a few, and that you know, like there are stories that we come across that don't necessarily seem to fit what we've done before, the parameters of Small Town Monsters. Invasion on Chestnut Ridge is sort of a step away from the formula that we had established. It wasn't about one monster. It wasn't even about one town. And it wasn't about one phenomena. It was about this, this entire ridge and all the small towns on that ridge that have been affected by lots of different phenomena. And
Wow.
it takes you through in sort of a chapter format, story by story, all these really fascinating encounters with, orbs and thunderbirds, dogmen, all kinds of stuff.
Neat.
And if you guys haven't seen it, it's free on Amazon Prime right now. You can go watch it.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's many stories that we can tell and that we plan on telling. And should the audience continue to support us, we will eventually get to.
See, and that's a because you've got this long list. You've got, just a long list of different stories, legends, creatures, things that you can go retell, interview witnesses, and put the story together, have it come across on film. But also, have you ever thought, or I'm sure you have, but do you have any plans on going and revisiting any of the already told stories?
Like stories we've told?
Yeah, like maybe gathering new evidence
Updates.
or new findings.
This is like you picked my brain before the interview. Yeah, I mean, our first film was called Minerva Monster, and of the stories that I personally adore, it's probably my favorite story. It's one that took place very close to where I grew up. And it's one where I've spent time with the family. I know them. I know how the event affected them. And we made this movie, Minerva Monster, and we were a bunch of amateurs. And the movie today, to me, does not hold up. It's not terribly well made. It was the first time any of us had made a movie. But it's my favorite story. So it's one that's always frustrated me because there's this movie sitting there that I don't particularly like, and I feel like we left large chunks out of it that should have been in. So at some point, I'd love to go back to that.
I see a remake.
But I will explore that. Actually, that story will be explored again in On the Trail of Bigfoot. So it might be the closest I get to revisiting it. But there are others. I mean, again, like Chestnut Ridge is a place where Stan Gordon, who investigates the phenomena around Pennsylvania, but especially the Chestnut Ridge, has books full of cases that he's investigated. All the investigators that we've spoken to that live in that area, that investigate in that area, have many, many cases that they have investigated there. So that is a place where I could see us someday doing an Invasion on Chestnut Ridge 2 or Return to the Chestnut Ridge or something like that. I mean, I would love to tackle that area again because it was such a challenge when we were making it. We didn't know if we were doing something that people would respond to because it was quite a bit different formula-wise from our other projects, and it was tackling so many different stories. I mean, it starts with the Kecksburg UFO and ends with a story about these two investigators seeing an orb go into a weird window in the middle of the forest, late at night. So it's a varied film. So, and it's one that I'd just really like to go back to that at some point. It was a lot of fun making that film. That was probably the most fun.
I got a question from our Periscope chat room for you from Kyle. He's up in Ontario, Canada. He wants to know, smile, Kyle. He wants to know if you've ever had an experience of your own, maybe something that's triggered this, or what got you going, per se.
As far as like anything before last night, no. But then last night I had, I guess I had my first encounter with what I can't readily explain. I am actually a fairly skeptical sort of person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't refer to myself as a skeptic because I'm not out trying to debunk anything or anything like that. But I always put it like I have so many questions in my mind about these phenomena that unless I experience them for myself, I have a very hard time just accepting them, that they're there. So I need to see things, like just that's just the way my idiotic brain works. And so last night I was in a tent in. This is less than 24 hours ago, by the way, guys. This is
fresh off the press.
Yeah, this is I haven't told a single person outside of like a couple friends and my family the story. So we're deep in the mountains in the Ouachitas in Oklahoma, and there's been some strange activity. We're there in a place where there have been many Bigfoot sightings going back, years. And it's late in the evening. I've got to be up to drive all the way to Nashville this morning. So I go to bed at about 11 p.m. with, I go over to my tent. I get in the tent. My buddy comes over. He hops in his bunk. I'm in my bunk. And around 2 o'clock, 2:15, something like that in the morning, what I would describe as a rock is thrown onto a roof of a building, an outbuilding, from a cliff nearby. And that might not seem like a huge deal, but what can throw a rock besides a human? And I can assure you there were no people where we were. So something tossed a heavy rock, at what seemed like a softball pitch speed or a baseball pitch speed. I mean, it impacted so loud that it sounded like a gunshot. It echoed across the area where we were. And immediately followed that up with a very loud sort of cackling laughter / whooping.
Wow.
Like a monkey, like you would hear from a gibbon or a monkey in a zoo.
Wow.
And this wasn't. We've actually, the group I was with, they're very studious about this stuff. They don't, they debunk more of their own encounter stories than they accept as being a possible encounter. So, and I spent half the day in the car with the guy who I experienced this with, and we were trying to debunk it as well. So we've looked at everything. There's no, it's not a barred owl. It wasn't any known animal cry that could make this other than a gibbon. We pulled up gibbon, what a gibbon laughter or scream sounds like, and it sounded eerily similar to what we heard. But what was really strange about it was it was so deep, and I don't know how to put it, because it wasn't deep tonally. It was actually like you were hearing a kid. The way we described it was when the rock hit the roof and it cackled. It almost sounded like what you would think of like a kid who was happy with something he'd just done. This rock had been thrown off the cliff. It collided with the tin. This happy ape or whatever on the cliff was just laughing it up. So that was, and that's
crazy
it. That's
creepy at the same time.
Yeah. That's my one sort of encounter. And there's, like I said, this will be on the Trail of Bigfoot when it comes out next year. So you'll learn a little bit more about. You'll learn more about the place where we were, because I'm sure right now you're thinking, well, that could have been a camper or something like that. You'll learn in On the Trail of Bigfoot why it can't be a camper and why it can't
Could it have been a Pukwudgie?
Let's hope not, man. Those are the creepiest little Jawa.
I think I got those in the. I think I have those in the hills of Hinsdale.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. So yeah, I actually Pukwudgies are in my on
are
my
they
list,
really?
by the way. My must. Oh yeah.
Now you know you're talking to nerds. For
So
sure, huh? Bunch of nerds on this show.
So yeah, that's it, and that's my one thing. You know, I've been all over the place. I've been in I spent 5 nights in the TNT area in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I've been in Flatwoods. I've been in the darkest swamps of Fouke, Arkansas, where the Legend of Boggy Creek was shot. And I never really experienced anything that I couldn't come up with a skeptical sort of response to. This is the first one where I've got nothing. I'm like, okay, well, there's really only 2 things it could be from a natural sort of biological standpoint. It's either a human being or it's what we've come to know as Bigfoot.
Yes.
So.
Now, do you think, or do you prefer to keep a skeptical mindset when you're doing this, and when you're out there investigating or filming or anything like that? Do you think that it's important, or?
Well, there's 2 ways I approach it. When I'm making a movie, like one of our films, I'm there in a completely objective reporter sort of. I actually worked for newspapers for 8 years, so so that's I'm there solely to document what people are telling me there. I'm not to debunk what they're saying. I'm not there to prove what they're saying. It's up to them to tell me their story.
Information.
Right. It's information gathering. In a situation like last night, it was, or these past few days, it is a little different because it's a new shooter style. It's a different sort of style. I'm not inserting myself into it in any way, but at the same time, you're capturing live what is going on, not live in the sense that it's going to be given to an audience live, but I'm instead of recreating anything, it's happening in front of the camera. So there's an interest in, at least to keep my own my own wits about me. I am trying to be as skeptical as possible, because we're in a place where you got to be really careful. Where we were is a place where I've wanted to be for years. It's one of the reasons I got into these subjects. It's one of the reasons I still, think Bigfoot is a possibility. So when you're in there, I had to approach it in a way where I wasn't going in and every single sound you're hearing, you're thinking, oh, it's got to be a Bigfoot behind the tree over there, So yeah, there is a need to be sort of, I guess you would call it skeptical, or just, sort of rational in that situation.
Logical, or,
Yes, exactly. Logical,
Yeah. It's important, I think, and but like you said, I like that you make that distinction where you say, when you're out there reporting and just gathering the information, because it's your job to just say, okay, what was your account, what was your experience, and what do you chalk it up to? Because you've got to gather all that information and then see what's going to come across, what are you going to put out in film, and then when you're out there doing the investigations. Oh, and you know what? As I was saying that, I just thought of something. Have you ever experienced, when you're out doing your own investigating, after you've interviewed witnesses or whatnot, have you ever experienced something similar, or been able to say, you know what, they told me this and now this happened? Or have you ever been able to compare those experiences?
It's interesting. I haven't really. I think the closest I could come were 2 incidents that happened this past weekend, and I don't think I'm at liberty to talk about them just yet. But there were 2 things that happened this weekend where I had asked a question of someone either a few hours or moments prior, and something relating to what I had just asked about happened. And it happened twice in the past few days while we were in the mountains, which is really, really bizarre. And again, I wish I could talk about it, but I don't think I have to be very careful about what I say about where we were. So I think for now, I'm not allowed to talk about it. But there were 2 incidents where I had asked about something, and then that something was either answered or something similar relating to what I had asked occurred.
That something was answered or something similar.
To be continued.
To be continued. If you want to know about that something, watch that something later.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I think everything that we've talked about, your films, everything sounds extremely interesting. That's something that's always sparked an interest in me is going out there and learning about. And it's just fascinating, all the stories and the legends, whether or not they're true. It's just fascinating, especially when you take into account the fact that a lot of these people that have they've never met, never spoke before, but they're reporting similar experiences, and so that's also fascinating when you take that into account. So I think it's really neat, and I think your work is amazing. Like Dan was saying, I was gonna say Don, changing his name. Like Dan was saying, I think you make people say, "Whoa, something else is going on here," and you make people think, and I think that is just awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and again, like the objective for me is more about I guess at the end of it, I mean, at the end of the whole thing, what I really want people I want people to be entertained. So I mean, if they come away from our movies still thinking that UFOs are silly and people that see ghosts are silly or whatever, I mean, I guess that's on your head. That's on their head. I mean, as long as they come away from it thinking, well, that was a good story.
Exactly.
That was something that was that's our number one goal as storytellers.
Of course, I agree.
It's a way best way to spend your entertainment dollars, in my opinion. Go to Vidi. Everybody needs to go to vidi.space and check out this flick.
Yes.
It'll pop right up. It's the first thing that pops up now when you go to vidi.space, and just click the little play button and watch it. It's awesome. You can watch if you have Amazon Fire. You can watch it right on your TV. It's watch it on the big screen.
The big screen. Yeah. And that's the way to watch it. Get your Amazon Fire and watch it that way on Vidi. And like you said, it's exclusive on Vidi for the next 30 days, you said, correct?
Yeah. It's the only place other than DVD where you can watch it right now.
Awesome. All right. So if anybody wants to know more about you, more about what you do, where can they find out more information?
That's easy. Smalltownmonsters.com is your number one stop shop for us. You can learn all about the crew and all the different productions we've got in the works or coming out or that are out. And you can also find our kind of list of appearances and stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on this year. I'm going to be all over the country. And our Facebook page, social media platforms, we're on Twitter and Instagram and all that. So just follow us on all those and updates. If you do want to follow on the trail of, if you look up Small Town Monsters on the trail of that, there's a separate Facebook page set up for on the trail of, and then there's also a Small Town Monsters community Facebook group with a few thousand members, and we just kind of share stories and talk and have a blast in there. So if you're on Facebook and you want to get involved, you can chat with us through there.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool stuff. So I will be looking forward to it if you decide to go revisit any of those other stories we were talking about.
I'm sure we will. That's something.
Yeah. And all your upcoming projects and whatnot. And so if people have any questions, want to know what you're up to, they can just go to your website and see your appearances, see what you have coming up. I think that's awesome. I think it's cool to have a one-stop shop. Plus, they can follow you on Facebook, right?
Yep, all over Facebook.
Cool.
All over Facebook. Everybody uses Facebook.
Everybody and their mother.
That is true.
True. Are you on Twitter?
We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and we are on everything that I know how to use, which, I'm 37 and I'm busy, so I have a hard time keeping up with all the newfangled social media. But yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
I just discovered Hootsuite.
Awesome.
Hootsuite. You can press one button, it goes to all of your social media. Check it out.
What is that?
Oh, I didn't tell you my secrets, Denise. Hootsuite.
Tell me your secrets. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to find out about Hootsuite. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I need that. I have too many social media accounts. hard to keep up with everything. Well, I thought, I'm glad we were able to get you on the show eventually, and it was great. And in the short amount of time that we did have you on, but it didn't feel, I feel like we did cover a lot, and it was great to have you on tonight. I'm glad we were able to get you on, because I really wanted to talk about it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the show. And
best of luck with your filming.
I'm glad you
too.
Enjoyed.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Everybody loves them.
Mm-hmm.
I will not stop.
I'm glad you enjoyed our different questions too.
Yep.
That's what you get when you come on our show. We ask different questions.
Either that
right,
or
Dan?
snorting, one of the two. It's either really serious or it's really funny. So one of the two.
Yeah, you know what, Seth? You made this a very serious show tonight.
Wow. It's one of your favorite subjects. I couldn't get you snorting tonight, especially with the limited amount of time we had.
This is, yes, it is one of my favorite subjects. So it was very serious, but I did enjoy it. It was great. Hope to have you back soon. Maybe we can have you back on. When the next one comes, when you're gonna release the on the Trail of Bigfoot. So yes. So maybe we can have you back on right before that one gets released, or right when it does get released, and we can talk about that.
Definitely, I'd love to.
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Thank you so much, Seth.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
I'm waiting for you to get big.
You're waiting for me to get big. What are you going to do? I see you with the magnifying glass there. What are you doing?
I was looking to see if you were going to get big. Normally when we hang up on Skype, you blow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was very
Maybe
interesting. I liked having him on the show. It was it was cool. You can feel the passion he has when he talks about what he's doing, and you can when you watch what he does in his movies and shorts, you can feel that as well. So it's definitely needs to be checked out. If you guys haven't checked out some of his stuff, your boyfriend.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, my boyfriend is a very good boyfriend, and he went to go get me this.
Of course he did. He needs you to stay full of caffeine so you can keep pumping out that jewelry. All right, D. After we get done with this, 3 more hours of twisting metals, and we got to get these orders done.
You guys think. Everyone's like, oh, they have such a good relationship. And then you throw here, Dave, stop. What are you doing taking a break? Make more jewelry. No, guys, no. He's a good guy. See? He went to go get me Starbucks to keep me awake so I can keep making jewelry.
So cool. Ooh! I want to mention. I got before we get off, I want to mention our guest in 2 weeks. I'm super excited.
Oh, okay.
I'm super excited that we're gonna have a young teenage paranormal investigator by the name of Madison Smith.
Oh yes.
And I know it's very controversial. I let my child investigate with me, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding letting kids or teenagers investigate in paranormal locations, and I really want to tackle that. We're also going to bring her father, David, on with her, because he supports her in what she's doing, and I really want to bring to light the intelligence levels of some of the kids that I've met that are investigating now, like the group of kids that I had up at the Hinsdale house that have a club. I really want to bring to the light, because you're gonna be blown away by her intellect at a young age and how serious she takes it, and she's already sent me some stuff, and she's working with some great people up in Iowa, Ghost Crier, and
that's awesome.
she's got a lot of people that are helping her out and guide her into what she's doing. So it's gonna be a most interesting show, and I hope everybody on July 10th.
Awesome.
It's gonna be in 3 weeks. Can put that on their calendars.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah,
I cannot
put that
wait.
on your calendars, guys.
Wait.
You don't want to miss that one. And next week we're not going to be here because I'm going to be filming within these walls. So I'm going to be filming next Tuesday. So unfortunately, you're more than welcome to do what you got to do. But I know we planned on having this next week off, and then we'll be back on.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll probably, if anything, I can go on with yeah, I can go on with Mooney
I know.
and do
Kyle said he'd be more than happy to jump in my absence. If you want to have him come in and co-host the show with Phenomena Encountered next week, you and Kyle could do the show and have Mooney as a special guest. I think that would be great. So
But what I really want, yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to keep it going, keep Phenomena going, and maybe what I'll do next week. I mean, I'll let you guys know if anything changes, but we won't have Dan, but maybe what I'll do is go on like we did that time that I had the show and Mooney and I went on, and it was a good show.
There were weeks that you couldn't make it that I went on and had a show, and it should happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, we would do that. And so, and like today, I was cooking, so Mooney had to fill in for the first 10 minutes. I thought to myself, Dan's to say, what is going on? But I figured, hey, it's easy to get him fill in when he's like right here, and he's used to doing shows. So I was like, go over there. Let me finish making Little Man his burger.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so there will be Phenomena Encounter.
We'll do that. If
week.
anything, next week.
And
yes,
then
will.
And I'll be back on the 3rd, and definitely mark your calendars for the 10th show, guys. That's going to be awesome. I'm super excited.
Mark your calendars. It's going to be great. Great. I sound like Tony the Tiger.
All right. Give us your
all right, guys.
Your ending statement. I'm off for 4 days.
All right, guys.
We're going camping.
Thanks. Yeah, we did Box Talk yesterday, so I will not be saying tune in for Box Talk tomorrow because we did it yesterday. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Tune in to Phenomena. We will have it next week, and we'll have Box Talk on Wednesday of next week. Tune in. Exciting news! Real quick, Dan, before we go, exciting news. Mooney and I are going to have a show on VidiSpace, on the VidiSpace network, Moondy Psychic Hour.
Oh, wow.
So... yeah, so let me bring the Moon Man here just to talk about that real quick. Say hi, Mooney.
Hi, Mooney.
you want to say hi? Talk real quick.
Let me expand
just wrap it up
you. Okay, we got you both in the picture now.
You got us both now?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah. We just got news
Mooney,
today.
sit back a little bit. Sit back a little so we can see her.
Sit back
there you go. Perfect.
There.
Hi. Yeah, we just got the news today from Elizabeth Saint. We talked to her. She called us and said that she wants us to do a show on VidiSpace on Wednesday nights, right?
Wednesday nights.
So we're going permanently Monday nights here on Paranormal Warehouse with Box Talk, and we're going to be doing the Moondy Psychic Hour on VidiSpace. So we're excited about that one. We'll be doing a lot of cool stuff with that. So stay tuned.
Cool, right? So people, don't worry. We're still going to have Box Talk. That's going to be on Monday nights on Paranormal Warehouse, and then on Wednesday nights we're going to have Moondy Psychic Hour
on VidiSpace.
That's been working out good anyway.
Cool
You guys follow us up.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, following you guys up. It'll be the Psychic Monday.
Psychic Mondays.
Yeah. And then also look for an occasional random day of manscaping.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
We got to get that on the network.
You got to get that on VidiSpace.
We had sponsorships.
I know.
You guys
Elizabeth,
have sponsors.
what are you thinking? We have sponsorships already. We have soap sponsorships.
Nick, Elizabeth.
If you hear this message, manscaping.
Manscaping, sponsorships. We have our own line of soap. Dan still has some if you guys need some.
Oh,
they can back order it.
Oh my God, you guys did get your own line of soap. You all got sponsors. You all had everything. Manscaping after one episode.
People don't realize how important it is to exfoliate.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and there's so many great soap makers out there that, well, we can't get into it now. I mean, we have to save that for our next episode.
Not right now. Yeah. This is the whole show.
Yeah, it's a whole show. We'll do it. We'll do the premiere of Manscaping in his face. And you'll have D in the corner for some reason.
And Kyle crawling across the screen, being chased by a Mountie. Yes.
Getting chased by a Mountie.
Oh, guys, that was so much fun. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, well, this was great. I really enjoyed the show. Are you going to stay here for the end?
No, I'm going now.
No, where are you going?
It's your show.
All right. So, everybody say bye to Mooney. Mooney left.
Bye, Mooney.
All right, so this is a great show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I just wanted to give that good news to you guys. We're going to have Moondy Psychic Hour on VidiSpace. Still going to have Box Talk on Paranormal Warehouse. Phenomena Encountered next week is going to go on Sans Dan, but that's okay because he'll come back. And yeah, that's it. Just keep checking in on Paranormal Warehouse, see what we got going on. And there's a lot of things going on for all of us. A lot of things. Just stay up to date with it. Right, Dan?
Follow us on our websites.
That's right. Follow us on our websites. And hit me up if you want any pendulums, jewelries. Got all that for you. Right, guys. Love you all much. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. Hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Smile, and remember to make someone else smile, too. Good night, guys.